Today I'm going to tell you how to spice up your videos, improve your storytelling, and increase your average view duration by using B-roll. So let's get to it. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. I'm YouTube Growth Certified, and this channel is dedicated to helping you grow on YouTube. So elevate your strategy and subscribe to the channel. And click that bell so you know when I have new content that comes out. Roberto Blake, a noted YouTuber, recently sent out a tweet where he talked about how he lost 20 to 30% of his viewers in the first 30 seconds if he didn't include some sort of pattern interrupt or B-roll in the hook of his video. Now, if you don't know what the hook is, it's the first 30 seconds or so before your bumper where you're trying to hook the viewer into watching all of your content. For most types of content out there, you're going to want to put some kind of B-roll tease at the beginning in the first 30 seconds of your video to encourage people to watch farther. If you do DIY or info content, the hook is basically going to tell the viewer what they can expect to learn in your video. In this case, you may want to show some B-roll of the finished product or something breaking or something crazy that happens along the way. Either way, in the hook of the video, using some B-roll to tease your viewer along to the end can really improve your average view duration. Here's an example of one that I've done recently. I did a video called Starting YouTube is Hard, and in the middle of my hook I infused some B-roll of something that people were going to see later in the video. I did mention it and talked about how it would be in the video later, but let's get to it, and that's how I worked it. That way, if people want to see what that was all about, they're going to have to watch the video to find out. Now, if you're just learning storytelling, the second part of your video should generally set up the antagonist. For a DIY or info segment, you might want to present the problem to the viewer in a way that they can relate that you're going to solve in the video. For a vlogger who might be trying to sneak their way into something, you might kind of show security or whatever, just little B-roll clips that set up who your antagonist is. What is stopping you from completing your task? And this is always a good practice when you're starting your video. You can show or tell the viewer what the problem is. But if you throw B-roll in there, it's a lot more effective. Throughout the course of your video, you're going to want to try to throw in B-roll clips as much as possible. It just breaks that pattern of what people are normally used to seeing, and it's really good for your average view duration. To give you some examples, again, I go back to my Starting YouTube is Hard video. There are a couple of scenes where there was some background noise. Instead of just waiting for the background noise to be gone, because filming outdoors was kind of almost the point of the video anyways. In one scene, I had a lawnmower out of frame mowing. I made sure after the scene, I put a little B-roll clip of the guy mowing so people had some kind of understanding of what that background noise might have been, and it was a good transition into the next clip. In another scene, there was a really cool shot I wanted sitting on the end of the bridge. But I knew there was going to be a lot of background noise because right next to it there was a waterfall. So leading up to that scene, I took B-roll of the waterfall and the bridge in the same shot so people had some context as to what the background noise was in the shot. Now, one of the reasons why this B-roll was actually effective for this particular video is because at the end of the day, the point of the video was that I can shoot anywhere and film anywhere I want. So filming outdoors in all these crazy locations made it easy for me to add that sort of B-roll in that at the time people might not have thought about what it meant, but by the end of the video they totally understood. It also served as a way to transition into noisy locations and have people understand why they were hearing something in the background. If you're somebody who does tutorials for web pages or something like that, you can easily do the same sort of thing in your videos. You can pop in and out of screenshots for each segment of your video. You might show the viewer one segment of how to do something, and then take 30 seconds after that to explain to the viewer why it's important or something like that, and then pop right back into the screen. This serves as an every minute or two pattern interrupt where the viewer is not just staring at a static screen with a mouse scrolling around. Every once in a while they get a shot of you. This is a really effective way to improve the average view duration on videos that you do that are just tutorial based. For another scene of my video, I wanted to illustrate an analogy using baseball. So in this case, I went to a baseball field and I filmed home plate and I filmed the outfield and I filmed a couple of other things involved with baseball to make the analogy. I feel like something like this really drives the point home. People understand that I'm in the baseball field without me actually having to say it. And it also serves as a pattern interrupt for viewers who are just watching me on the video. Well, now they're not. They're watching home plate that clips to this and clips to that. And they all add context to the point that I'm making. And you can easily do this in informational videos or in a vlog video where you're traveling from one location to the other. You don't have to tell the viewer, I'm flying to Los Angeles. You can show the viewer your arrival at the airport. You can show them the big board listing flights and zoom in on the location that you're heading to. You can show them on the flight. You can show them disembarking from the flight. And then you can show them the sign that says, "Welcome to Atlanta," or wherever it is that you happen to be going. And this provides all the context that your viewer needs in a nice, quick, well-filmed pattern interrupt, so you don't have to say, "So I was like on this trip to Atlanta and then like I got on the plane and stuff." No, you don't have to do that. You can just show the viewer. And then if something crazy happens on the plane, you can tease that. And then as soon as your B-roll sequence is over, you can tell that story to your viewer. Once you learn how to visually tell a story using B-roll, it can take your average view duration through the roof. And you know what? Your audience will enjoy your content that much better. It's awesome. Now, you don't have to use your own B-roll when you film this stuff. Depending upon your circumstance, maybe you can't get out and film or do these things. You can buy B-roll online or even find lots of stock footage sites for free. You can also use static images that you've taken in the past and do zoom and pan techniques to make them look more visually interesting. The other thing you see quite often, if you're trying to illustrate a point that can be made with pop culture, you can always take a few seconds or moments from another video or something like that and infuse it into your video. You want to be careful with this. You certainly could be hit with a copyright strike, but we do see people do it all the time, so I'm not going to tell you you can't do it. Just be careful. If you want to know more about how to increase your average view duration, you should probably check this video out right here. Or if you just want to see a video YouTube recommends, check this one out right here. This channel is all about YouTube growth, and if that's something you're into, please elevate your strategy and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell so you know when I have new content that comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Go out there and film something awesome today. Make it count. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.